seasoned academics in the house. I have Professor Jutamas, who is the Dean of the School of Human Resources Management, Thailand. I have here on the call also Professor Pradit, who is the Dean of Docenti Global Business School and the Vice President of Bodiza University. I have here also Professor Akanazo, who is the Executive Principal of Docenti Global Business School. I have here also Dr. Stephen Abba, who is the Managing Director and CEO of Crampe Technologies Limited. So they are going to be a part of this excellent conversation. And we are having today the topic Happy Workplace, which is a very exciting and inviting topic. So they would be taking us through this journey. Before we commence, I would like to point out a couple of things for all of us. Kindly mute your device so that we don't entertain interruption as the discussion is happening. Kindly mute your device. If you would like to ask a question or say anything, kindly use the hand icon. Just click it and we give you the chance to speak. I would like to also inform you that the attendance survey would be dropping in the course of the conversation, and this would enable you to get the slides and the recording of this call. So when it pops up, kindly take the time to fill the attendance survey. And I would like to also inform you that this particular activity is being live streamed on our socials. So we'd like you to maintain a professional background. Of course, I know you wouldn't like to see yourself in a not so good environment. So kindly ensure that you're in a professional background as this is being live streamed. And for those who are joining with their phones, with their devices, kindly rename the device so that we can easily identify you by your name. In case you want to ask a question or you want to reach out to you, okay, we can reach you by your name. So once again, it's an inviting and optimistic conversation, the happy workplace. And we have seasoned and prolific experts who would be taking us through this conversation. I invite you to grab a pen, grab your jotter, and take a lot of notes, okay? If you have any questions, we'll also give you a chance to add your voice to the conversation. Thank you. I will now hand over to the moderator of today in the person of Dr. Stephen Abba to take it up from here.
All right, Matthias, thank you so much for that detailed background. Good afternoon, everyone. And we're excited to have you. Welcome once again to the Docenti Global Business School Business Leadership Excellence Program. Today promises to be an exciting one, and it's going to be really, really insightful. So we have the happy workplace, helping employees connect with their daily tasks to a larger, meaningful mission. That for us is the topic for today, and we are glad to have you all join. We expect more participants to join. As Matthias mentioned, my name is Dr. Stephen, and I'm the MD of Crown Pay Technologies Limited. It's my pleasure to moderate today's event. And I mean, the place of human resources in building every organization cannot be overemphasized. And that's why I'm excited to be part of this. You know, this program, as you all know, brings top personalities from prestigious industries to Docenti. Docenti is known for excellence, and we're excited to bring top professionals today from the international space to share their insights and ideas with us. And in that light, I want to mention that today we have special guests in our midst. We have Associate Professor Ruthamas, as earlier introduced, and we also have Professor Projects, and they'll be speaking on the topic, the happy workplace, helping employee connect their daily tasks to a larger, meaningful mission. Uh, Quickly, I'm just going to do a brief introduction of this notable guest. To begin with, Professor Jutamas. He's the Dean of the Human Resources Development, uh, Dean of School of Human Resources Development, you know, and a leading authority on organizational well-being. She wrote the book on happiness at work. Her groundbreaking study is the 102 Happy Workplace in Thailand, which reveals the secret sauce behind the nation's most successful and high engagement companies, from fostering a sense of belonging to driving sustainable talent growth. She knows exactly what makes a modern workforce to tick. And I'm glad to have had that personal encounter with her in the, last month also. And we also have Professor Pradict, who is the Dean of the Docenti Global Business School and Vice President of the BOU for Africa. He's a visionary leader, and he's been occupied with bridging international academic standards with African market realities. Professor Pradict, you are welcome. We're excited to also have you. And we also have, I said, Professor Akanazu, who is also on the call. We're also excited to have you. You're welcome, sir. And I think from this point, we would like to commence with Professor Jutamas, but I'll invite first Holland Pichayapa. She's on the call. She'll set a background for us. Holland is a PhD student at the HROD in Thailand, and she'll begin a brief of the introduction, and before we will have Professor come on the call. Dr. Holland, you're welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Yes.
Good,
So
good, good.
thank you,
Good
Stefan. Yeah,
to,
good, good, good. The Wi-Fi is good. Yeah. Good. Thank
yeah.
you. So thank
Mm.
you for the introduction. So I'm a PhD candidate and from batch 12. And I want to say that this year, the School of Human Resource Organization Development, we are celebrating our 35th anniversary. And it's been a real like, great journey, learning with international experts. And also, I had a lot of, like, I have a lot of international friends from like Philippines and like from India. It's very diverse. And also like we learn from the professional professors from UK, from United States, and most of them they're like CEO of a company or airline managers. And I think it's like we get to learn from one another and we get to like learn from different like fields and aspects how we deal with people because like even though no matter we have AI, right, coming nowadays, but we cannot replace human because human has one of these important thing is human touch and talking about like empathy and emotional intelligence. Yeah. So I actually have a video and I think Dr. Jutama just joined us. So Ajahn, ka, would you like
Okay.
me to share the video or would you share the video? Ka?
Yeah, or you can share the video so we can introduce our school. People should know where we are from. Okay. Hi everybody. How you doing? And it's great to be here. In Thailand it's 8 p.m., but in Nigeria I think it's about 2 p.m., right?
2
Should I
p.m. Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
should I say good afternoon or good night? Good afternoon, yes.
Good afternoon. It's fine. Welcome,
Okay.
Professor.
Yes. We basically make the short video to introduce about our school before we talk about happiness at work, okay? It just take a few minutes. ค่ะ
Okay,
Harlan, you
so
can share the video.
yes. Oh, it's here now. Somebody's sharing it. Okay. Can we play the video, please?
Thinking about your future as a leader? Let's look at the Graduate School of Human Resource Development. It's all about one big promise, helping you become a global HR leader. And it all starts with their vision, for you and for the entire field of HR. The goal is to balance theory and practice, making you a sustainable leader on the world stage. They do this through 3 core missions: teaching, research, and building powerful networks.
All right, so how does this play out in the master's programs? Let's dive in.
You've got 2 clear pathways for your master's degree: HROD and OSCA. The HROD program is a big deal. It actually made them a leader right here in Thailand. So HROD is for professional HR admins, while OSC is all about sparking change and resilience.
Okay, for those aiming even higher, let's talk about the doctoral journey.
These PhD programs are designed to create the next wave of global HR innovators. And the key here is mixing that deep theory with real, hands-on, global experience.
You can go for the fully international HROD program or the innovative Thai English Hoshti option.
At the end of the day, it's all about one thing, turning you into a real change maker. So, are you ready to bridge that gap between theory and what you do every day?
By joining, you're not just a student, you're part of making this whole vision happen.
Which leaves just one question. How are you going to shape the organizations of tomorrow?
Okay, that's a short introduction about our school, and I'm so glad that you guys come to Thailand and meet with me, and especially you are interested in the topic of happiness at work. So since 2012, I've been doing the study about happiness at work, and up until now, we changed from happiness and move it forward into well-being. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit what we start with and what the process and what kind of factors that make people happy. Okay, before I begin, thank you so much, Holland, ka. And we have the same name. Let me change the name. Let me change the name on Zoom so people don't get confused that we have the same name. Okay. Right. Okay, let's see how happy you are. I don't know if you would like to open the camera and maybe take a look and take a photo together and make a big smile together. It would be possible or not. Maybe they are working or they cannot turn on the camera. Professor Humphrey, you think they can turn on the camera and take a
Yeah, we
photo
can
together
try.
with a big smile? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay. So we know who you are and how happy you are. I think you have a beautiful smile. And I'm gonna ask you from the scale 1 to 10, how happy you are. Just show me the number, okay? Maybe show me if you go with the 10, you just show 10 fingers, okay? On the count of three, give me the big smile and how happy you are, all right? On the count of 1, 2, 3, okay? I'm really, really happy to see you guys and let's smile together. Yay. Thank you so much. Okay. And you can call me Noon. That's why we have a session in the afternoon. Someone raised their hand. Okay. You want to say something? You have any question? Because somebody raised their hand. Matthias, right? Would you like to say hi to me or would you like to say anything? Okay, great. Thank you so much for turn on the camera. Now you can turn off the camera and you can relax and listen to our story about happiness. All right. Since 2012, I start doing a happiness study because in Thailand, it's a big deal on people pay a lot of attention on happiness. And of course, we have what we call Thai Health Promotion Agency. Okay, this is they got the tax from alcohol and liquor and a lot of things that after they got the tax and the money from that source, they use that to promote happiness and well-being among people at work. And back then, I start to study 102 organizations. And of course, we trying to learn from this organization in Thailand. I spent only 1 year, okay, to visit each organization in Thailand, starting with a very simple question: what make them happy, okay, and what kind of things that they do to make them happy at work, okay, and last but not least, what are the key success factors that make them happy? But of course, among these 102 organizations, now I think more than 20%, no longer happy. I think happiness is like a snapshot, If you agree with me, please give me a heart or uh, any reaction, to share your feeling about happiness. I don't think people can be happy every day. Sometimes you feel down. Sometimes you feel like, okay, the world is not fair. Sometimes you feel like, why the team never understand you? Why the more you work, the less value you contribute. That's happened in your lives from time to time, especially, during the midlife crisis or when you become a mid manager. Okay, and that's make me feel like, okay, we got to do something about the research. We try to do the research. Not only that, I collaborate with JICA to look at the happiness of Thai people throughout Thailand, north, south, east, west, and in the heart of Bangkok, and we compare, among region, which region people are more happy, are happier, or who is less happiest. Okay, and of course, when we study and we look at a lot of study, and we found one study, they try to analyze about 40 research, and they divided happiness into many eras, like go back to 1984 to 2001. They define happiness as an experience that individuals encounter in life, vary from person to person. Some people feeling happy just only a little thing that happened in their life. Okay, I live like where I live is like 2 hours and a half to Bangkok. Okay, that's why I just arrived home only a few minutes ago before I turned on the Zoom. Otherwise, I had to like join the Zoom in the car, would not be happy, or my face wouldn't be lighted like this. It's going to be in the dim light. But every time I drive to work, 2 hours or 2 hour and a half, I feel like, okay, I can enjoy many songs that I love, and I can sing along when I sit in the car and go to work. That's a little thing that make me happy. Or Holland, you know me, and people in here, who Holland is. She is the brand ambassador of Disney. Ah. And
Yes.
Disney, if you think about Disney, I just invited Holland to teach at a business school at NIDA about happiness, right? About mood and can you
Emotions.
share can you share a few things that you learned about happiness and work at Disney?
Well, what I learned from working with the Walt Disney World Company in Orlando, Florida, is that you just want to create happiness for those who visit the theme park the minute they step into the theme park. So no matter what, like even though the employee, we call the Disney employee cast members, you cannot frown. You have to smile. You have to be there for them because even with little kids, right? If you
Yes.
see wearing like Disney princess like Snow White or Ariel, right? So the Disney protocol is that you need to kneel down to the little kids eye level and you greet them by, "Hi, princess, how are you today?" with a smile. And then when they leave to go somewhere, you say, "Have a magical day." Yeah.
Oh, great. So if you guys want to apply for Disney, just contact Holland. And her name is Holland because you were born in Holland, right? Yes.
Yes, yes. I was born there, yeah. But I'm Thai though, yeah.
Yeah, great. But in terms of happiness, when I interact with Holland, I feel so happy because she has a beautiful smile, and every time we talk, we have a good experience together. You
Yes.
can be the most happiest person in the world, but when you contact with somebody and that person is like has a negative attitude, and maybe they don't like you, sometimes they turn your happiness into bad day. Okay, into a bad feeling, and they can make you frown and maybe feel like upset or anxiety. Okay, so
Yes.
basically you have like individual happiness, relational happiness when you relate to other people, And of course, the big thing is like collective happiness. You can think of the big country that use happiness index. Can you guess which country is this? They have a happiness index to measure how happy people are in their country. You know, the King Jigme. What's the name of the country? He just got the
Bhutan.
yeah, Bhutan. Yes, great. Actually, Chulalongkorn just invited him and gave him like ดุษฎีบัณฑิตนี่คืออะไรนะ
Kind of like a
the
certificate or like royal
yeah
award like that.
yeah royal award like when you graduate you know PhD you got that you know degree and but you don't need to study this is very special but that's that the happiness that vary from person to person is defined in 1984 and of course later on you know they define happiness that a lot of factors that make people happy including income okay income and of course what else คุณบัตคะ where's my slide คุณบัตไปไหน okay I'm just gonna keep talking okay um คุณบัส is my assistant okay she's like show the slide for me and now she's gone are you here okay great thank you so much so when we talk about if you have enough income but very funny that you know when we did study from a 102 organization in Thailand that include like global company like Starbucks Toyota and Kun Bas can you go back to the list of the company thank you so much the logo here okay not big box it's Starbucks okay and hospitals and central retail Anandra Big C and Green Sport okay of course so many of this not the Thai company but global company and you know what when we talks about income never ever like none of the company will be happy with their income okay no matter how much you make money you never satisfied with how much you make because the more you make you spend more and you know the study that relate to the happiness here is linked to the debt and stress at work as well so that's another study that I did that links to the happiness here okay and of course another factor that we found relate to happiness is employment health environment fundamental needs okay so I found one company that very a great company but located in a really dangerous environment so employees said okay I really love this company but every time I go to work and I have to through the slum and very dangerous area I don't feel safe that's why that girl told me that I had to quit after 6 months so safety and environment really make people happy okay I think none of you would like to work in a company that you have to take risks all the time because you know I serve as a board member of I used to serve as a board member of a SMED bank and my duty is like doing an audit and I have to look at a lot of risks of course one of the risks is about environment it's about safety at work it's about sometimes HR and career become a risk as well of course and go further to the later year you can see that social relationships and engaging with individual or the community very important for people to feel like they're being heard or they're being someone listen to them and they have what we call psychological safety คุณบาสคะ could you go back to the page about factor yes and of course later on in the year 2014 to 2018 you know they talks about happiness as like establishing objectives as sense of purpose in life along with personal development of course And that study collecting like and compare in many during like decade. And when you look back, you might think of what define your happiness. And from 2019 up to now, okay, they define happiness as a work-related activities that's significant in life. For example, commitment to work, resigning from a position, something like that. Okay, so that's the study. And according to the Harvard Business, in the year of 2012, we can see that people see the values of happiness. Is the issue of January to February 2012. And you know what? It talks about happiness that linked to longevity in life.คุณบาส go to the next page ค่ะ okay. I think คุณบาส might have some problem with the internet ไหมคะ Harvard Business ค่ะคุณบาส okay. And of course, our school really take action to serve with the research of Harvard Business Review because they demonstrate the correlation between workplace happiness and organizational performance. It's very interesting that if you are like very happy, you tend to work. If you feel like you are being happy at work, you tend to perform better. On the other hand, people focus a lot on engagement, but you know what? People who have a higher engagement score, they quit their job easier than a group of people who didn't have a higher, the same score. Okay, so okay, the person. I don't think should I open the slide here by myself? Kun Bas, are you still here?
You can open it from your end, Prof. You can go ahead and
Okay.
open it from your end. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she go along with me. Fine. Okay, let's go. Let's do it here. Thank you so much. Okay. I can see my slide here. Okay, hold on.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you so much. Okay. Here. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, the business case of happiness. So it's like 2012. And you know what? Our school created a course called Happiness and Well-being at Work. And that's back in 2012, before we changed the program. And of course, when we look back and I trying to look at the challenges of definition. Of course, nowadays, if you go to OECD, looking at the McKinsey, looking at Deloitte, looking at like World Happiness Report and other resources, they shift from happiness and add more dimension of well-being more. Okay, and of course, my study, I come up with 3 words, and this study I presented at the conference, and later on I published in the journal at NIDA. Okay, this study called Being, Becoming, and Belonging Model, and of course this model we focus on the 3 pillars of working happiness. You can ask yourself whether you're being happy because your authentic self enable happiness and matching your personal trait with the job requirement and organizational culture. Let me ask you here whether you feel like you're match or you feel like your value and your organization culture align together. Right. If you feel like accountability is very important to you and it's a core value of your organization, and you have that kind of values in your life, you're going to do whatever it takes to be accountable on the performance that you perform. So If you're being in the right place, being with the right leadership, being with the right job, you're gonna be so happy. Let me ask you, like maybe you can type it in the chat or anything, like what make you happy? Like, are you coming to the right place already, or you feel like this is not right for you yet? You're still looking and searching for the place or the work that really match your values. Okay, and when we talk about becoming, when we talk about another word, I define another pillar is becoming. Becoming means that you developing well-being, passion, and belonging within conducive work environment with a good leaders and colleagues. I don't know, you may stay at work at this workplace because you feel like you love your colleagues so much. And you feel like, okay, if you wake up in the morning coming to work without them, you would feel like, okay, I don't want to work here anymore. Maybe that's not a factor for you. Maybe you feel like, okay, I love my boss so much. I love my CEO. I love my VP. I love my job. I love my workplace so much. Maybe you might not have a good colleagues or good team, but you still want to be here. It depends, vary based on each individuals. And of course, last but not least, I call that belonging. This factor is so important because when we look at 102 organizations, which later on, I conduct more research, and altogether they are about 300 organizations. So when we talk about belonging, what I mean by that is, you contribute organizational result, you meet expectation, and you represent the company image with pride. When you walk with anywhere, okay, I'm the one of that person. I feel like in the past 21 year, okay, I feel like my being is matched with Nida because Nida has a voice and has a core values that really fit with my values. Okay, it talks about wisdom. Okay, and innovation, integrity, and sustainability and empathy. So these four words really reflect who I am. So when I work here, I'm so happy because everywhere I go, I can represent Nida without feeling like, okay, this is not me. So that's made me work here for 21 years. And you know what? On this Valentine's Day, it it's gonna be an anniversary of my being a deanship. Okay, so I'm being dean since the last Valentine's on February 14, and now it's about to be 1 year. In next week. So cross your finger for me, but I think I did my best, okay? Because I trying to not trying. I love everyone, and I love my job, and I love my student, and I love connecting with the world. That's why when Professor Humphrey and Professor Pradit, told me that you want to have a webinar, and today I have a whole like 6 hour of teaching class today, and I have to travel like 2 hours and have to come back home. And I say, yes, I'm gonna do it for you. But I'm so happy that I can convey this message about happiness to another side of the world, okay? To Nigeria, to Africa, to anywhere in the world, because I think that's very important and has a values in it, okay? So when we talks about being, becoming, and belonging, from my research, and I have this paper as well, so you can go and maybe read more. When we talk about being, you have to be authentic, okay? Your personal characteristic should match your job and your organization. And when you talk about competency, okay, if you have the competency, your functional competency, that match with the organizational competency and of course managerial competency. You're being the person who has that kind of skill, knowledge, and attribute that match with the job. You're gonna be the most happiest in the world. What do you think, Professor Humphrey? Are you happy being professor there? Okay, thank you so much. And of course, we look at the study of Ken Blanchard, and he talks about passion. Okay, you have to be passionate about work, and they have a formula on 3W. Okay, who you are, what you do, and where you do it. If who you are, like you are being who you are, working at the place where leadership style match, like I mentioned earlier, working in the place where maybe close to work, close to home, okay, and have a great environment, have a good atmosphere, and have a good facilities, and in terms of physical and psychological atmosphere, you're going to be so happy. And of course, when you mention about your organization, you feel like you're so proud of being a member or citizen of your organization. That's being authentic. And of course, if you are happy employee or happy CEO, okay, I think you should be able to use your full potential. Potential means that you have abilities and desire. Okay, this is from the theory and from research. The definition of potential is that you have to have abilities and desire to be better every day. That's the meanings of potential. So if you can do that, if you have like skill 100% and you only use that for 20% because another is 80% doesn't match with the current job anymore. For example, if they require AI abilities to do the job, we're using AI, to convert my paper into slide, right? And Kunbas, and me working together. Kunbas is like only 27 years old. She's so young and she's been practicing AI. I mean, trying to apply every program that she can, to help me. And I work with her closely. That's why we're learning from each other. So I think I can keep up with AI really fast because I try to have a younger friend, okay, Professor Humphrey? you have to have a younger friend. And I don't know if Professor Padit is here, but yeah, everyone who meet me that day, you guys look young, okay? So that's why I think you have a younger friend. Of course, another thing that can define you as a full potential person is that good physical and mental health, okay? And I don't know if Kun Bas can come up with the loneliness index ค่ะ Kun Bas คะ are you with me คะ okay
Yes.
okay yes and you can should I stop sharing a bit
Now.
okay and Kun Bas is uh in the middle of not a fasting but เขาเรียกว่าอะไรนะ Bas fasting ละหมาด fasting she is during the fasting season where she cannot eat or drink anything oh okay yeah and of course when we talk about good physical and mental health that's why now we have project called wellness by design I don't know if it's here but not here but when we talks about well-being and when we talks about mental and physical health this is what we call well-being and maybe so okay when we talks about well-being it has some what we call the oops hold on okay. We have what we call psychological well-being okay and when we talk about psychological well-being and emotional well-being, is recognized as a top 3 problem at work, because you have a problem about burnout, you have what we call like depression, because a lot of job demands and you cannot keep up with the pace of very quick pace of what you are working, and you have to apply technology. You might not meet with a lot of people, and you feel like your work didn't really contribute to organization result. That's how psychological and emotional health become a problem and issue these days. Okay, that's why you have to think about this as a way to make people happy or unhappy at work. Okay, sometimes the same issue, but this person can deal with it, can cope with it, but your team member cannot deal with it, because might be an issues about generations or issues about individual factors. Each individual cannot be resilient in every situation. Okay, and you have to observe them closely, talk to them, and try to find what we call psychological safety space. Be able to listen to other people and talk and communicate more. Okay, that's it. Just communicate more, not about talking, but listening can be the strategy of communicating to reduce the risk of psychological burnout or psychological issues. Okay, and of course another thing that make people unhappy at work is here, physical well-being. Okay, from my research, one organization, they have 20% of leader in their company facing NCD disease, like diabetes, high blood pressure, um, a lot of things. And think about that, if they are having a problem about physical well-being, they cannot perform well. And that's make them unhappy, because they cannot function well because of their body, their health, and their physical well-being. And of course, another thing that I think make people unhappy, and that's why they never feel like their income is enough for them for living, no matter how much they make, because they don't have financial well-being. And this become an issue since 2012 up until now. I don't see that people can solve the problem yet. That's why, I try to focus on sufficiency economy philosophy. And that's my book chapter that we contribute to the world about, making people understand about proper and trying to use spend your life using what we call middle path, for trying to not to spend too much, but spend wisely and being logical when you're spending the money. Okay, and of course, last but not least, when you feel happy, you have to have friends. You have to surround it by happy people. I'm not talking about you have to smile all the time, but you looking at the world from the positive perspective and finding what you have and trying to value what you have to make you happy. Okay, this is from the research, and I think from my study really linked with the well-being concept. Okay, so in order to make the journey from being to becoming, you have to have what we call well-being foundation. Okay, proper compensation, benefit, job security, development, opportunities, and work-life balance. Okay, looking at this word. Okay, I don't know if you guys have a work-life balance this day. In Australia, they talks about The formula of 8 8 8 means that you have to sleep 8 hours. You work 8 hours and you exercise 8 hours. I don't think you can do that. 8 hours exercise, that's too much. Okay. Now we're trying to shift from the word work-life balance to work-life integration or work-life harmony. If you have a work-life integration, you don't feel like you work every day because you feel like your your life and your work are the same. That's me. Okay, I work 7 days a week. Sometimes I work like at night, but I feel like I'm happy because I feel like my working is the way of my learning every day. Okay, and of course, when we talk about passion, you have to align vision with organization goals. What is your goal in the next 5 years? Maybe if I ask participant in this Zoom, okay, some of you might say that in the next 5 years, I'm going to have my business along with the business that I have, or in the next 5 years, I'm going to be the most healthiest in the world in my family or something like that, or I'm gonna travel. I'm now serving as the board of Tourism Authority of Thailand. And last week, I have a chance to meet with Lisa Blackpink. I stand next to her, and I'm so happy that I got to meet with her because I think she is the most happiest in the world, one of the most happiest in the world, and one of the most talented women in the world as well. So that's, I think my work is so happy because I love to travel, and maybe I can go visit Nigeria one day. Maybe next year, but in upcoming in March, I'm going to Germany because they have the biggest event of tourism in the world. You're welcome to go there. You love to travel a lot. Let's let's think about this. Okay, after COVID-19, you have a policy called maybe work from home, staycation, workcation. You can go to the beach and you can work and you can perform so well. And at NIDA, at my school, we have done the study about our employees, and we're trying to look at what they like about working 5 days a week, or work 4 day and maybe one day take one day off, or working 4 day on site and working one day anywhere. And that's has some kind of relationship between generation. Okay, some generation, like younger generation or Gen Z, love to work like 4 days and take one day off. But older generation, maybe Gen X or maybe Gen X, because in our school only have Gen X, X, Y, and Z. Gen X love to work 4 days and one day anywhere. So if you think about policy or applying to your work, you might think about, hybrid workplace. Some of the company think about, have a Wednesday take off. I mean, take Wednesday off, and you can work like Monday, Tuesday, and stop working on Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday you come back and work. Yes, because they think about, taking one day off during the week will be work the best for them. Okay. And of course, if you want to make the people from being to becoming, you have to set the safe workplace, proper system. Okay. Work system can make people quit their job. From the research, people want to come to work because of reputation of the company. Maybe they have a great place to work for a brand, okay, and they have a great leaders. But when they come to work, those supervisor and work system can make them really stressed and make them work unproductive, okay. And last but not least, what we call recognized position. Okay, you have to have clear job description, authority for decision making, proper career path and development. Okay, I know one of my friend. He graduated from Ivy League. Okay, but he worked in a big organization, very great reputation. But he has to work there, and he's stuck in the same position for 10 years. Can you imagine? You think he's going to be happy or not? I don't think he's going to be happy. He's been successful in his life, and after graduate and come to work, no career path, okay, no chance, no opportunity, and that's why make people unhappy. Okay. Yes, and of course, I think this is from my research. So you can, if you want to look at more in the details, I think freedom at work, trusting employee decision making. You might heard the term empowerment, okay? Empower. You might believe that you empower your employees, but no, you make them work more without power. Think about it, okay? You give them more work, and every time they have to make decision, they have to come to you and ask you about permission to make decision. And that's very shame on you, okay? You have to give them power to work more, not give them more work without power. That's really make people sick and unhappy at work, okay? Just make sure that if you promote them, give them authority, empower them, okay? And of course, in order to make them, to empower them, you have to believe in them, allow them to develop themselves, and support them. In order to support them, you have to show them that you have supportive behavior, showing generosity without being asked, okay? When you ask them, you have to have what I call like tactic or techniques to ask them without making them feel like you are not trusting them. And that's you can learn from the technique of how you can give feedback to other people. Give feedback, okay, and then make them feel like you allow them to make decision, to think, and you trust them. Okay, trust is an issue about making people happy or unhappy. Okay, and of course, very important thing about make people happy is key success factor is about sincerely communicating. Okay, you might have what we call morning talk activities, HR online system. You might have platform that people can come together and chat and give feedback, and and if they have like, if you have a psychological safety space, one company like บางจาก เนาะ they have a room with the blind and you cannot see what other people sit inside that room. That room, people can come and talk and have a conversation together. Okay. And of course, joy communication, comments box. I'll give you one idea about comments box. Can anybody tell me where you should put the comment box at work? If you have a box that people can put the comment, you think where should we put that box? You can type in the chat if you feel like you want to participate with me.
Okay, so for questions, comments, and any other
Yes,
ideas, you could just type in the chat box, and then
yes,
Professor Thomas will pick them up from there. Right.
yes,
So while she's
you
speaking, you
can.
can also, yeah. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
thank you. I suggested them that, to put the comment box in the restroom ค่ะ because you should put something that really like confident. It's the box that people feel confident to put any comments, okay? I suggest them that, you don't put in anywhere, just put in the restroom so people can give idea and feedback in that box. Okay, somebody smiling, laughing. Yes, and it works so much because, they ask their employees to draw, like, how do you feel about your boss? And, in that box, fill with a lot of pictures about, some people put like looking at their boss like a devil. Some people put like angel, like look to their boss. And I asked them to take all that picture that they draw to ask psychologists to measure or to describe about what are the most people think about uh, their manager or their supervisor. And it come out that, about 60% of that picture that they draw reflect their stress at work. But if you put the box in the meeting room or in front of the boss room, I don't think anybody will give you a sincere feedback. Okay, that's a true comment. Okay, so that's very important about communication. And of course, since I think I have a little bit of more time, right? So I have what I call home model. Okay, when we talks about home model, I think you have to think about HOME. Home stand for happiness mapping. When we talks about happiness mapping, you have to think about in organization, where is your happiness located and what factor make each individual happy. You might be CEO, and from our research from 102 organizations, when we talks about executive or leaders, they want their employee to love them. Okay, sometimes they spoil their employees. Some employee might not work well or productive. They just like tell them, oh, it's okay, you can do better. But they never give a feedback to the employees. When I ask employee, ask them about what is that make you happy. What they told me is that I want my boss to see the values of my work. So it's totally different. Okay, I want them to see the values of my work. And when I ask like the team, okay, what make you happy? I want them to talk to me more. I want them to communicate with me what they want and what kind of result they want from us. Don't use the term you and I, when you work as a team. You should use the term like we, what we can do better, by working together, talking together more. Okay. And of course, for another thing that I come up here is, okay, I think I should show this slide. Some people put my slide down. Okay. I still have more time ใช่ไหมคะอ่ะ okay. When we talks about organization, okay, organization diagnosis, you have to think about what kind of disease that your organization have. Some of them might see like people tend to be inert. Okay, they might not have a goal, and they might not have a same vision that organization have, because they were born in different era or they work in different vision, and they still stick with the same vision that they have. Okay, that's why we have to think about, you have to melt the values of happy workplace into the management. And that's why I have what I call employee experience canvas, or after becoming and belonging there, I come up with the tools นะคะคุณบัสคะ can you come show us the tools the Canva that we develop and we use with many organization here that's 50 that's 300 organization but this is the latest organization that participate in my latest study we just finished this study last month and this is the company that asked us as a researcher to come in and diagnose their organization at 3 levels and of course we use the Canva about employee experience. We identify about being, becoming, and belonging, but we divided into employee journey. Whoever has like only 2 and 3 year experiences, their anticipation or their what I call that their expectation will be different. And a group of employees who about to be retired, they have different expectation. Even though you have the same intervention, you have the same policy, you have the same management, but if you look at what they need in detail and try to analyze it, you will see what make them happy or being well in terms of career well-being, in terms of physical well-being, psychological well-being, and social well-being in different angle. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop here a bit. And Professor Humphrey, I don't know if anybody have any questions, so we can talk a bit more and ask and answering some questions. Okay, ค่ะ stop sharing สวัสดีค่ะ Professor ประดิษฐ์ค่ะ
All right, Professor Jutamas, thank you so much for that very detailed presentation. We're excited, and I mean, critical things stood out for me. Among
Hello Professor Stephen are you
He's having
oh,
internet issues.
I think he has internet issues, yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
yes better
Apologies.
yes
Okay, yeah. So I was talking about the 3 pillars of working happiness from being, becoming, and the belonging model always stands out for me, right? And then looking at how to match the factors that the characteristics of happiness, being authentic, and all the other factors around financial well-being, which is also a critical one, especially in the Nigerian space. So this for me stands out, and I'm excited to have gained more insights as to how, you know, not looking for the validation of your employees, right?
yes
As an individual who manages a company, yes, it is important to ensure that these guys are happy at work, but not necessarily looking for that validation. The goals have to be met. Also, they have to be happy. So all of these characteristics put together. Thank you so much
yes
for that. So as we said,
yeah
we'll open up. I can see Professor Pradit on the call now. Prof, you're welcome. I don't know if you have a comment to make before we take the questions. And to the whole house, if you have questions, you can start dropping them in the comment box or just indicate by raising up your hand. So we'll take your questions for Prof and then we move it up from there. Thank you so much.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say thank you so much, okay, for Dr. Tutamat, Dean of the School of Human Resource Development of NIDA. Okay, she is one of the outstanding. Okay, she is one outstanding, and she should become the full professor. Okay, very soon, very soon. Even she have a lot of work as a dean and also the board of the Tourism Authority of Thailand. Okay, I can remember. Okay, the first time that I go to Nigeria. Okay, the ambassador. Okay, Nigerian ambassador said to me, Okay, say that, okay, Professor applauded. Okay, you are a friend of Nigeria. So I would like to use the same word. Okay, Professor Chutamat, you are a friend of Nigeria now. Okay,
Yay.
and today, okay, and today, actually, I expect you to talk very briefly, but you
Oh.
talk a little very long. Okay, that is very good. Okay, very good. Okay, you put a lot of effort. I know that you are busy, and actually tomorrow every of us will busy because we will have a new government.
Election.
Tomorrow we will have a big election. So actually everybody should busy. Okay. I can remember when I am at NIDA. Okay, a lot of the political party, okay, invite me, okay, to give some advice, something like that. Okay, I think that it is the norm. Okay, because the professor of NIDA like think tank. We are the think tank, okay, of the government. Okay, so Professor Jutamat mentioned that she hope to visit Nigeria next year. Okay, but for me, I think too far. Okay, I expect you to go this year. Okay, and it's just only February. Okay, we still have 10 months. Okay, we still have 10 months. And I will keep a close relationship, okay, with you. Okay, because if you go to the conference, okay, not far from Africa, maybe we invite you, okay, to go to visit Nigeria. Okay, but one
Thank you
thing
so
that you
much.
have to prepare before you go to Nigeria is we have a yellow fever vaccine.
Why? Okay.
Yes. So you have to have that. Okay. I have already.
Okay.
Okay. So I go there for 4 times. Okay.
Oh.
Usually professor of NIDA, okay, enjoy to travel to US, to UK, to Europe, and many places. Okay, because that is the comfort zone. Okay, that we go and we feel like we go to the developed country. But okay, if you go to Nigeria, you will see that you can do a lot more things. Okay, what you have in your research, we can do it the whole Africa. Okay, we can use your framework, methodology, something like that, and then we can make a good research. Okay, and in the future, okay, any company, okay, not only from Thailand, any company who want to do the business in Africa and want to have a happy workplace have to come and talk to Professor Chutamat. Yes, ask for her consultant. Okay, so I think that you make the right decision. Okay, you make the right decision. Okay, one day, okay, you will go and become popular. Okay, in
Thank you so
Nigeria
much.
and Africa. Okay, and in Africa. So I think that I will not talk too much because I would like to invite all the participants, okay, of the Chante, okay, to join trip with Dr. Humphrey to Thailand because we plan to have next business leader to go to Thailand. And we have already booked time of Professor Chutamat on the 25th of March. Okay, so we know that we will go to Nida and meet her. Okay, because if we not make the appointment in advance, okay, maybe everybody book her already. Okay, and we cannot see her even we are in Thailand. Okay,
And
so hope
I'm
that
gonna
all of
take you
us.
to the prison.
Yeah. Okay. Please. Okay. We will plan. Okay, to visit the
Okay.
happy workplace of the
In
prisoner.
prison.
Okay,
Yes.
even the prisoner who are suffering, okay, they still have happiness. So I think that it is amazing. Okay, that you can make the people, okay, in the worst time in their life, okay, still happiness. So this one we call it making merit. Okay, you make a good merit. Okay, so no problem that you will become professor, okay, because you have enough merit, okay, or maybe, okay, not far from now, maybe you can become the advisor of the minister, okay, some of the minister, okay, and when we go to when we bring you to Nigeria, okay, I do hope that experience that you have for the Tourism Authority of Thailand will transfer to Nigeria, because to make Thailand tourism attraction, I think it is not too difficult, because all the world know Thailand already. But if you can bring your experience to do it, okay, to make Nigeria one of the tourist attractions and become the income generation of the people, okay, we can help a lot of poor people in Nigeria, okay. And when you work with the manager, okay, I have experience working with a lot of the business leader. I sure that the innovative idea of the business leader of Nigeria is, okay, not second to any country in the world, okay, can compare to Thai people, okay, can compare to Thai people. So I think that we can work together and we can see, okay, the contribution that we can work, okay, to help Nigeria and become the copycat, okay, the example of the showcase of successful development of the happy workplace in Nigeria and every country, okay, 56 country in Africa will come and see and learn from Nigeria success. Okay, so this is what I would like to express, okay, my happiness that we have a very good seminar online, okay, even everybody very busy, okay, but I can perceive and see the good future, okay, very bright future that NIDA, okay, can contribute to the world, okay, and that is what our founder King Lamanai dream about, okay, because NIDA is established by King Lamanai, and King Lamanai will be more happy in heaven, okay, to see the people from NIDA go around the world, especially in the developing country, and helping them, okay, to develop, okay, and become developed, okay, and the people in that country become competitive, company in that country competitive, okay, and become the income generation, okay, and happiness, not just only their workplace, but happiness in their nation, happiness in their continent. Okay, so thank you very much, Professor Chutamat. Thank you, and look forward, okay, to work with you. Thank you.
ค่ะขอบคุณมากค่ะ thank you so much have a happy day ค่ะ bye bye ค่ะไปแล้วนะคะจอนค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
All right.
thank you
Thank you so much, Professor Project, for those
ค่ะ
contributions and comments. Looking forward for greater collaboration, as you said, between Nigeria and Thailand. So quickly, there's a comment in the chat box from Emily. She said there should be a room called a quiet room. This should be introduced in workplaces. The box should be kept there. That's our opinion. Thank you so much for that feedback. We have Angela. Angela, your hand is up. Do you have a question? Can we take it quickly before we run?
Yes, thank you very much for sharing this knowledge, Professor. But my question is, if you have to apply this at work, what are the steps you need to take first of all? Because I know this is a new model that is not yet in practice. So if you have to put this model to use, what are the steps? Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Professor Jutamas Holland, are you able to take that question? Did you get that?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still here. Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much for your questions. What would what you're asking is what should you do first, right? What the next step? Okay. Basically, when
What are
you
the steps? What are the steps you need to take to put this into practice in a place where you don't have
uh
this model?
okay.
If you have
Basically,
to
we
put it
have
to practice.
yeah, in a lot of cases that we did the research, they put the practice. I mean, they put the theory into practice. Actually, we collect all the data from practice and we form the theory and we form the concept, the framework. So what they do is basically they ask their employees first and by using maybe engagement tools or survey or maybe you do some kind of focus group. Okay, what you do is you look at the symptom, maybe look at their performance, look at how well they work, and sometimes they make some kind of mistake, or you have to look at the symptom first and open the communication channel for them to give you the comments and feedback. And after that, you collect all the data and trying to look for the intervention. And if you looking for the tools, you can use my tools. Actually, I have what we call like employee experience canvas. You use that tool to talk to your employees. How many employees you have, Angela? Small company or big or medium? Angela?
Well, it's quite big.
Why big?
It's quite
For
big,
how?
yeah. But
Okay, I when I teach or I work with L'Oreal, a large company or ACG large company, they're starting with the small group first. Looking at like maybe
yes,
you do focus group first.
yeah. So yes, we will do focus group and now like a prototype focus group
Yes.
and then now try other units.
Yes, but trying to blend the happy into happy work process. Try not to make people happy by focusing on only activities. Okay, that's my suggestion. For example, you might redesign your work process. You might talk to your employees and looking at the process, what make them unhappy. And sometimes you can even apply the technology or maybe the long process or maybe confused job description or HR work can really help in that part. But you have to diagnose, looking at the problem first. When you're looking at like you're trying to do happy workplace, you have two methods, okay, two strategies. First, you're asking for what make them happy. Or some big company in Thailand, they asking people what make them unhappy. But if you use my
Start of
approach, yeah,
to diagnose, yeah. Okay.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
But don't ask so many questions, ask simple question where everybody can answer. Okay. Thank you so
Immediately, yeah.
much. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Prof, for that feedback. I'm sure, Angela, it answers all your questions. Okay, Gideon is saying he missed the class, he's just joining, and he will need the recording. Sure, definitely, Gideon will have the recording shared across all the platforms on this group. So, yeah. And then the attendance is out now. Please kindly fill it to access the recordings and the slides. Yeah, please do that. Okay, so I don't know if there are other questions, comments, contributions quickly before I allow Prof take her final words. And again, I don't know if Prof Akanazo has a word or two for us before I close from my side and hand over to Matthias. But again, meanwhile, while we are looking at that, Prof, we would like to wish you in advance a happy Deanship anniversary on Valentine's Day, 14th of February. We'll be celebrating with you from Nigeria. And then, as Professor Pradit said, we'll be happy to have you on the next trip, of course, to Nigeria. And then we wish you guys a successful and peaceful elections tomorrow. We pray you get the best leaders from this election. So, Prof. Akanazu, over
Okay,
to you.
thank you very much, Dr. Stephen Abba, and most especially thank you, Professor Jutamas. Thank you, Dr. Holland. Thank you, Professor Praditz, and all of us here. Like Mrs. Angela said, it is a new area in HR, and it is an area that I believe and I'm confident that Nigeria needs more. When we visited Professor Jutamas at NIDA last month, she made a comment which drew my attention and my interest. And she said, this happy workplace structure or framework has been implemented in Thai prison. And she showed us some of the products from the Thai prison through this happy workplace framework, what they were able to achieve with the prisoners who are now, relaxed, they are calm. They will be able to produce bags, produce food, cook food, produce things that could be sold in the market and all of that. So they are no longer thinking too much about the problems they have and all of that. And I'm like, wow, these are some of the things that we need in Nigeria. And I said, let's even apply this to the workplace. Let's apply it to the workplace. Let's achieve it first. And I'm sure that the government probably will be convinced to apply it in the prison. And I said, okay, please, can you help us do webinar, create this awareness to our students and also to our prospective students so that we'll begin to prepare for a possible detailed workshop for our students and our audiences, both here in Nigeria and also in Thailand, in Bangkok. Because in March, that's next year, we will be going to Bangkok with some of our students. Registration is still open for students who want to join us in the trip. We have a workshop at the School of Human Resources Development, NIDA, which Professor Jutamas and her colleagues will be implementing on the 25th of March at NIDA. So I encourage those of you who can make it to join us after the workshop. We will be going to the prison to experience how this happy workplace has worked, and also to some companies which Professor Pradit has promised to also take us to. So we see it practicalized in some of the companies and also in Thai prison. So I encourage you to join us. And those of you who are in the HR space or who want to join the HR space, we have a program, Strategic Human Resources Management, and Mrs. Angela is one of our students. We have other students here who are running our HR program. In Docenti Global Business School, we put into practice what we teach. You can see when Professor Jutamas was talking about theory and practice, that's exactly what we do, and we share the same vision, we share the same value. We like to practicalize what we teach. So theory and practice come together, both in our PhD, in our MBAs, in our ESDP. So those of you who are yet to be part of Docenti Global Business School, who are aspiring students, this is an opportunity for you to enroll in any of our programs and experience more of this. So I thank you all. We will continue to invite prominent and special experts in various fields to give us talks like this, innovative ideas, innovative issues, both in the workplace, both in the fintech, in different areas of study. We'll be doing this, and we have been doing it. We'll continue to do it from different countries I will encourage you to join us and continue to watch out for other webinars that will be coming in the next coming months. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy weekend. Enjoy your weekend and be happy. Be happy, smile. You know, when you go to church, also smile and be happy, both in the church, in the mosque, in workplace, and extend it to the prison. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Stephen.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. And on that note, I'll call it a shot from you. Thank you for all your contributions. Matthias will take the final vote of thanks, and then we can close from there. See you guys on the next one. Matthias, over to you.
All right, thank you, Professor Thomas. Thank you, Professor Pradit, Professor Akanazo, and Dr. Stephen for enriching us with your wealth of experiences and knowledge. It's quite an interesting session. So I would like to inform our students and prospects, kindly fill the attendance survey. It's very important so that you can have access to this slide. We only display the part of the slides. So we have the bulk of the conversation on the slides, and you will do yourself also a favor to have access to this rich material. So kindly ensure that you fill this
Hello, I think Matthias is having some issues. So just fill the form, fill the attendance form, and we'll be able to get your details to send you the recordings and send you also the slide. But before we close, can we just take a picture, put on your cameras, those of you who can, and then the technical team will take pictures. Please try to put on your camera.
With a smiling face.
With a smiling face. Don't forget the happy workplace. Smile. Some are laughing. I said only smile, and Mrs. Egbe is laughing. You know, smile. I can see you. So technical guys, if you are done, Patrick and Co, you let us know, just indicate so that we can close.
All right, sir.
Professor Pradit, you're not smiling. Prof.
Yes, smiling.
Yeah. So Patrick, are you done?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you.
Perfect. Dr. Amadu.
All right, thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, everyone.
You too, Prof. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, have a nice weekend.
You too, Prof.
And see you in Thailand. See you in Thailand in March.
Sure, we'll be there.